Hey there, Bible buddies. I've got another Bible review for you today, and this is one that I lovingly call my bomb-proof Bible. So originally, this was a waterproof Bible produced by Bardin Marsee Publishing. And if you guys haven't heard of the waterproof Bibles before, they're really cool. They're completely synthetic. There's no paper used in the construction of them whatsoever. And they're waterproof, they're tear resistant, they're crease resistant, they're ultra durable, super tough. They even float. So I'll leave links down below in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing one. Also, I'll leave links to the things that I used to make the Bible look like this. It did not look like this originally. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Originally, this came with a like a little sleeve on the Bible, so I'll go ahead and show you the sleeve so you guys can get any information you want. If you want to go ahead and pause it, you certainly can to grab any information off of it. We'll take a look. So again, these are cool. They are synthetic materials, and it just makes them ultra tough. I call this one my bomb-proof Bible because originally it was a waterproof Bible, but I have since upgraded it with a tough armor coating here that makes it bomb-proof. Bomb-proof, right? So we'll take a look. Originally, this would have had a camouflage pattern on it and a smooth cover, not this heavily textured cover. Now, the camouflage isn't like a military camouflage. It's like a sticks and kind of leaves camouflage pattern, so more natural, not so much like a military kind of finish. So just a heads up. Now, they do offer several different cover options. I think they have like a blue and a black, and I think a brown or something like that. So there is different options. Now, the reason that I painted mine is because the more I used it, the more that cover print just kind of came off. And underneath it, it's kind of stark white. So I got to a point where it was like very heavily worn on the edges, where you normally grab the Bible, and all that kind of coloring had come off of it. So I figured I would just dress it up a little bit. So what I did was I took Flex Seal and I taped up my Bible as best I could, and then I sprayed it with some Flex Seal. Yes, Flex Seal, that Flex Seal. And it gave it this awesome pattern, this awesome like kind of texture. And I love it because it makes it so much easier to grip now, especially if this is meant to get wet. If it ever gets wet, if I take it to the beach or something like that, it will stick in my hands a little bit better, And then after a while, I thought, what, this black cover looks really plain. So I took some Angelus copper paint and I painted this cool little cross design here. And I really love the way it came out because it almost looks like the nails that were used in the crucifixion. So I love it. I think it turned out really well. And it's good. I mean, it brings me great joy. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. And there's not really anything, again, because I sprayed over everything, but you can kind of see that texture there from the Flex Seal. Super cool thing. We'll go ahead and take a look at the top. Now, this is meant to be kind of like a rough and tumble kind of Bible. So there's not no page edge color or gilt or anything like that. And that's okay because, it's purpose built, right? So you can take a look here and we can see that it does have signatures and is Smythe sewn, which is neat. I mean, it just kind of proves or just shows the kind of the quality of this Bible, the construction of it. So you can see there also probably the thick layer of glue that they used to kind of bind this all, or to kind of adhere the cover to the text block. But it's very well made. No issues, nothing like that I've had out of it. Now we will go ahead and take a look on the inside. I'm going to skip the first couple pages here only because my personal information was here, and I don't want the internet to have that, sorry. So on the inside cover, it's blank, and then you have a presentation page with like the waterproof Bible kind of information on it. And then we'll just skip here to the second page, and I'll show you the copyright page here, all the copyright information. I'll kind of pause as we go, so you guys can pause it if you want and read. Now, this is the 2011 NIV text, and it is produced again by Bardin and Marsee. And you can see here's the title page, Waterproof Bible, the Holy Bible, in the National Version. So this Bible is pretty marked up. I don't apologize for it because I love this Bible. But again, it is not going to be in its original form, but that's okay, at least for the review's sake. Now, this kind of, for me, is equivalent to what like David Lee Brown calls a cuddle Bible. And essentially what I use this Bible for is if I'm doing like a deep study in a series of like study Bibles and commentaries and that sort of thing, and I get to the point where I'm just tired of the deep dive for the day, I will grab this edition and just kind of go to town. I'll read it and highlight, and it's an easy to read translation. And I just kind of highlight what I like, and I write what verses I like as I'm going. So that's what you see here. A lot of verses and a lot of highlighting. So we'll go ahead and flip through. You have a blank page here. Then you have your table of contents. And what I've been doing here is I've been highlighting as I finish the books. So I've gotten a good ways through it. Not totally through it, but I'll get through it eventually in my own time, I turn the page here, and you have the alphabetical order of the books. And then you have the preface to the NIV. You can see I read through the preface. I like to do that with all the new translations that I start, because I feel like it just gives you a good, good feel for what the translation's trying to achieve. And you have your Old Testament title page, and thankfully there is a lot of blank space in this Bible, and I do love to write. I do love to write, so I just kind of wrote my favorite verses, like I said, when I came across them, and I'll review kind of what I use to mark up this Bible, because it is really finicky with what you use as far as marking in it. So we have the first page of Genesis. We'll take a look here. You can see this little thing. I will say, I had to rewrite it here, because it kind of erased. I tried to use an eraser to erase some things, and I'll go over that too in a little bit. But when I use the eraser here to try and erase something, it took the text off the Bible. I will say this text is very durable. It's not going to come off really unless you do something stupid like this. I hate to say stupid, but stupid like this. Or if you, there was a warning about insect sprays. I guess DEET or something like that interacts with it, and it could like mess up the pages. So I would stick away from that, and probably stay away from any kind of like harsh chemicals or anything like that, because it might interfere with either the composition of the paper, or it might just kind of wipe the print off the page. You got to remember this is a synthetic material, so it's not porous like normal paper. It's not like the ink is going to soak into this paper. The ink is literally just like adhered to the top of the page. So if you're not careful with it, that will happen. You'll start to lose the text. But yeah, so you can see here. We'll turn to a cleaner part here, so you guys can get a feel of what it looks like. All right, so you can see here, that's a nice view of the stitching there. The signature stitching. That's my sewing. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. You can see it's a double column paragraph, and there is, formatting for poetry and that sort of thing. It's kind of standard with NIV. You do have the page numbers up in the top corners, along with the starting book, chapter, and verse, and the ending book, chapter, and verse there. There are also the not a running header, but like the kind of the subjects of the area that you're reading. Around, and then we do have the Translators Footnotes at the bottom. There are no cross references, just the footnotes. I'll go ahead and show them to you, just as a little example there. And we'll flip through a little bit of this so you guys can see some of it. But it's very nice text. The font is a little on the small side, but I don't have a problem reading it, only because I'll show it to you here, the paper, since it's clear here. But this paper is, 100% opaque. Just given the fact that it's not really paper, it's like a rubber or plastic, whatever it is they manufactured. So the opacity is just through the roof. You don't see any sort of show through whatsoever. Now let's keep flipping through here. Let's go to the poetic sections. You can see Psalms here. Very nice. Very nice layout there of the Psalms. It looks great. I love the poetic settings here, because it actually looks like modern poetry. Let's get to the New Testament right quick. This is a black letter text. I feel like that's kind of a given. There's the New Testament title page. Into Matthew. I'll show you 5 and 6 for whatever it's worth. It is no longer a black letter text. It has become a yellow letter text. But it is black letter text originally. Yeah. So let's get to the end here. Now this is just pretty much, it's a reader's Bible. It's pretty light on the features here, and I don't believe there's anything in the back. Let's get to Revelation right quick. Yeah, I think it just wraps up here in the end. So you have Revelation, there's Revelation 22, and it wraps up. You have your one little footnote, the Greek is plural, and then you have your table of weights and measures there. And that's it. You have a blank, half of a page here. The back side of this page is blank. Then you have one blank sheet, and then just the inside back cover there. So, I love these. It's such a unique concept, and it's super awesome. I live near the beach, so it's pretty cool that I'm able to take this to the beach and read it and not have to worry about any kind of damage occurring to it, even if I were to say drop it in the ocean. Maybe I just have to go run and catch it before it floats off, because it does float on water. So yeah, super cool. Again, I'll leave the links down below if you guys want to take a look. Let's look real quick at the writing implements. So what I did here was I did like a test page, and again, this paper is really finicky. So what I did was I took a normal Sharpie marker, this yellow guy in specific, a yellow Sharpie marker, And then I just took some pens I found around my house. I had like a green pen. I tried a crayon here, this orange. I don't even know if you can see it there, but it says like crayon. I had a green like dry lighter up on the top. I tried like a black dry ink, just like a cheapy Papermate, and then like a blue ink, and then another black pen that I could find. It does recommend that you use ballpoint pens, and I would agree with this, just because whatever wet ink you use comes, if you use like a wet ink instead of a dry like ballpoint ink, like I guess oil-based ink. If you use like a wet ink, it smears right off like instantly. So it's never gonna set or dry or anything like that. Whereas this oil-based ink holds up a lot better. Now, what I did want to try also was, because this is a waterproof Bible, I tried writing all those things. I tried rubbing them away to see how abrasive resistant they were, and then I also tried getting the page wet and rubbing it away. So some of them held up very well, some of them not so much. Pencil did not hold up at all very well, and they do recommend pencil. I'm not sure why, because it wiped off pretty readily. And then those dry lighters did not hold up as well either. It just came right off. So I ended up sticking with it was a Papermate like cheap pen, like a little ballpoint pen that you would get like free at a hotel or something like that. I stuck with that, and that's the black ink that you see everywhere. And then again, this Sharpie marker worked best for me as far as like resistance to any sort of rubbing or wearing away. Now I will say that sometimes, not always, I don't know what it is, but sometimes maybe if I don't wait long enough for the Sharpie to dry and I turn the page or something like that, I'll get some kind of like ghosting on the opposite page. So you'll see kind of like a very faint like yellow shadow from this page that it kind of transferred over. I'm not sure what causes that, other than maybe I didn't give it enough time to dry. Back to this first page here in Genesis. So what happened here was, I think I had underlined something accidentally, and I wanted to erase it. Now, believe it or not, weirdly, if you get the page, if you say you make a mistake, definitely wouldn't recommend doing it in the text, because that'll happen. But the thing that worked best for me is if I made a mistake over here, say writing a note or something like that, just getting it very slightly wet and using just like a normal pencil eraser, that took it right off, like clean off, just erased it like immediately. So I would definitely recommend that for erasing any stray marks you have in any open areas. As far as anything in the text, I wouldn't even do it. If you make a mistake marking, I would just live with it, because if you try and erase it or do anything like that, I feel like it'll just end up like that and take the text with it. So just my 2 cents. Certainly I do have a lot of fun with this Bible. I really do enjoy it. We'll get some measurements here in a second. I did want to show you this though. This happened, it was not originally like this. It was just a normal straight like book block, but this happened with time, and you can kind of see like where my grubby little hands have gotten the pages just all dirty. So I'm not sure if it's moisture or just, use on the pages or heat or, heat transfer from your hands or something like that. But it will kind of warp the pages there. So just an aside. Now let's take a look at the text size right quick. I'm going to look at start with the capitals. I don't know. We'll do the B here and because. It is a pretty small text. Looks to be about a 7-point capital versus Times New Roman. We'll take a look at a lowercase m. And I don't know. Where's one? I'm not seeing one. Goodness. Me. There you go. Yeah, it's about a 7.5-point lowercase. So we'll run with the lowercase like I always do. So it's about a 7.5-point font in comparison to Times New Roman. So it is a little bit on the small side. The thing that does help it is this opacity of this paper is really great. It is not line matched, so you can kind of see it here. How there's like a little bit of kind of unevenness. I don't know if you can see it. But on the opposite side of this page, the unevenness is a little bit kind of visible there. But again, it's so minimal that it's kind of a moot point. As far as show through is concerned, let me see if I can find a page with some writing. So I can show you like the pen show through. I mean, it's minimal. I can show you a little bit there, I guess. I did mark it like a line on the opposite page there, so you can see it like the kind of the shadow of it. Oh, here. So you can kind of see the shadow of it there, but it's nothing crazy. Again, opacity is great on this. Let me get you a measurement right quick. I'm all over the place today. Sorry, apologies, guys. All right, so this guy measures in at 8 3/4 tall by 5 7/8 inches wide, and it's going to come in here at 1 1/4 inch thick. So pretty portable size. I wouldn't say it's hand size. It's like a mid-size kind of Bible. But again, super awesome if you are looking for something that is going to be durable, that you won't have to worry about, I don't know, somebody spilling coffee on it or something like that, or even just something to kind of toss in a backpack. They do have other translations available other than the NIV, so I would definitely recommend checking them out. Below, I'll leave the links. Bible Buddies, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. If you could, please subscribe, leave a like. That'll help me out if you can. I'm not begging though, please. Until next time, Bible Buddies. Bye.